There's the unmute button.
Welcome, everyone.
Good to see you all here. I have a bad habit of starting Zoom calls and not pressing the unmute button. Good to see you all back for another week in the 888 portal. Can someone give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear us okay? All right, awesome.
Amazing.
That's what we want to hear. So I see there's a whole bunch of you here. Who is here for the first time? Throw a number 1 in the chat. If this is your first 888 portal with us, throw a number 2 in the chat if you've been here for at least one of the previous ones. How have you guys been doing with the last week? Throw in the chat, like, has anything shifted in the last week? What are the wins? If things have changed for you, if you've leveled up, if you come to epiphanies, let us know in a couple of words what those were in the chat. And, last week we did this whole discussion about the 9, the 6, and the 3, and a bunch of geometry and like the 0 point and how it all comes together and how we can take the duality of things, right, from the positive and the negative and fold them together into integration in the 0 point. And that's a really powerful way to look at the whole world. And I want to just bring back to the mind everyone's awareness of that. With a simple image, all of you have seen it. It's the Tao. It's that white and black circle that just goes around and around. The white chasing the black and the black chasing the white. And if you sit in the center of that, there's stillness and nothing ever changes. And that's actually representative of what we were speaking to last week, the pendulum swing that goes around and around. And there's duality on the right and the left and the up and the down, but right in the center is where it all comes together. Yeah. So this week, we wanted to dive in and talk to you guys a bit about what you can create from that center point in your own meditations, in your own experiences. And this is what we'll be doing in the portal meditation today. And in a large way, next week, as we wrap this 4-week portal up on 888. So today's date is the 818. So what does that bring us to? That comes from this infinity cycle of the number 8, this abundance of literally all experiences, which the 8 kind of brings together, and bringing it all back to one field, one center, one people, one consciousness, right? We're all familiar with that statement, I am you, you are me, one in all of it. So we wanted to talk about portals and the morphogenic field, how you can kind of tune into this for yourself, and what we can do with the morphogenic field or the quantum field. I call it a morphogenic field when we're dealing with it in a very tangible but intangible way in our own meditations, particularly in a group meditation like this. What can we do with that energy, and how does it actually change and align things in our lives? So as we get into this, do you have any comments on the morphogenic field or the way that we can create these portals?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to go back into the chat real quick. For those of you who said 1 and haven't seen the other portals that we did in the last couple of weeks, you can find it in the Lightworkers Worldwide section in the app. And then
if you don't have the app, go to one of the emails that we sent. And in those emails, there is a link to sign up for the Ateawa platform, get your free account, and you'll have access to the Lightworkers Worldwide section if you want more resources. There's a lot of other resources in there as well.
Yeah. And you can go back and utilize those portals anytime. It doesn't have to be within this 4-week window that we're doing this. We're just doing it live in this 4-week window because the 888 portal typically opens mid-July and ends on the 8th.
It hits its peak on 888.
It's its peak on the 8th. Yeah.
That's when the alignment of, I believe it's the Sirius star system, the Orion's belt, the sun is in Leo, and something else are all lined up in a row. And for the astrologers in the house, feel free to throw in all the other astrological events that are happening at the moment. Would love to hear.
Yeah.
So as more of you are joining in, I see a couple more people just joined as well. We'll be focusing into this perspective of how we can actually take our energy, connect it to the real world, ourselves, other people, our lives, to create shifts through visualization of our energy and active meditations. Go ahead.
Yeah, and last week we stepped into the heart. So for those of you who weren't here or haven't been able to watch the replay, we've completely stepped into the heart. And essentially why I mention that is because the heart is the portal. The heart is that central space, that 0 point energy. And we all have it within us. Everything within the universe has it within it. And through our hearts, we create that morphogenic field by connecting to each other through that. And from the various locations in the world as well, creating that beautiful grid that everyone always talks about.
Mm-hmm. And on the note of the grid, we are the grid.
Yeah.
So let's talk about those two grids that are really important. Many of you are familiar with the grid of the chakras. Many of you might be familiar with the Tree of Life grid or the Kabbalah. It's pronounced different ways. That's how I can manage to get my tongue to say it. It's the geometry of the chakras and the energy field of the body. And what she's referencing in the heart field is rather interesting, because if you get into biomagnetics of the human heart field, which I suggest you do, go study up on the magnetism of the human body. They've actually found that the human heart emits a larger magnetic field than any other chakra, any other aspect of the body. And the mind emits a field that's about half the size. The human heart field, when it's moderately expanded, is about the size of your arms stretched out wide, or roughly a little larger than that, about 6 feet across. And it can make up an entire sphere. When that field is constricted, limited, or forced to be smaller, or disconnected from the earth or your surroundings, we begin to suffer in a variety of ways, from mentally and emotionally to spiritually to even physical dis-ease. So when we immerse ourselves into a meditation and we intentionally visualize the expansion of that energy, we are consciously putting our energy into that field and expanding it. Now, most of you probably are aware of a very simple phrase that can be summed up as: where awareness goes, energy flows, and that is what grows. So if you put awareness into a chakra, if you put awareness into this field of energy around you, you put choice of what kind of energy you infuse into it, the vibration of it, and you can sustain that choice with focus over a duration of time. You can consistently put a flow of energy with that awareness into your body, into your field. And then we can do some really cool things with it from there. So I want to give a quick breakdown of the morphogenic field. We take that grid of the chakras and you expand it outwards around you, in you, through you. That 9, 6, and 3 chart that we were showing you guys last week. Imagine that you're literally sitting in the center of that, and the number 9 on that chart is up above us, up above your head. That would be in your soul star chakra. And imagine that the 6 and the 3 are rotating around you, spinning around you. And right in the center in your heart, that's where that 0 point is. And you take all these polarities, the stuff that's on the right, the stuff that's on the left, the good and the bad, the up and the down, the people you can't stand to be around and the people that you love to be around. You take all of those connections and you bring them inwards. You anchor them down at the bottom, at the core of who you are, because your relationship to everything in this world has some form of relationship to who and what you are, which is located in the Earth Star chakra, that blueprint we worked with in the first week. And then you take it all the way up to the top. And at the top, this is where you can really illuminate. You can get this top-down perspective of like exactly how things are supposed to be organized and ordered in your life. We're going to dive into meditation and kind of go through some immersion into this energy that hopefully you'll choose to gain some insights from. And then bringing it all into the heart, anchoring it into the center point and letting it all shift around you. Isla has a beautiful illustration of this. Can you go ahead and share the one where you're like the dial and you just turn the dial? It's like the whole world shifts around you. Just give them that helpful image as we dive into this a little further.
Yeah, absolutely. There's also a video on my TikTok where I have created this practice. I think it's pinned at the top as well. So if you want to go to my TikTok channel and view it and go through the practice, you can actually save that video and practice it every day to bring that dial in for you. And essentially what I described there is that everything shifts and changes around us, for us. So imagine if you walked, that the world shifts and moves around you for you.
Kind of like walking on a treadmill.
Yeah.
That the floor moves underneath of you. Instead of thinking that you're walking across the floor, imagine that it's a treadmill and you're actually pushing it beneath you.
Yeah. So instead of you walking through the world moves and shifts around you for you. And we can tune that dial, that frequency of what we're choosing to create for ourselves and bring it into our reality. So it shifts and moves and comes towards you to a sense. You're not going towards it, it moves for you. So if you could imagine that you're sitting in the center and you're like sitting at the control, and you prefer the reality where you are doing XYZ and living that life that you love of doing that X, Y, and Z, you can shift the dial towards that frequency by tuning yourself towards the energy, emotions, feelings, experiences, and that automatically creates the world to shift for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So imagine like the inside of your reality. Imagine that your reality is like projected onto a spherical screen, 360 degrees. It's fully immersive. Now, for those of you with a hyperactive imagination, this might get a little dizzying, but go on a ride with me. Imagine that it's a 360-degree screen, and that screen is tactile and you can touch it, and it operates kind of like a treadmill. And if you rotate one direction, as long as you keep walking, and it just keeps rolling underneath of you. And it shows you this immersive reality experience. Now, right now, you've kind of parked yourself in front of a Zoom screen and you're sitting here and you're just allowing the story to play out. And we're talking about this physical axis of movement where you're moving your physical body through reality to create an illustration of this. But this also applies at the emotional layers and the mental layers and the spiritual layers, in all dynamics of our relationships and our business, etc. Now, just like you have on a treadmill, anybody ever turned up a treadmill speed? You know, you started off, you turn it up really fast, then it gets going way too fast, then you can't keep up with it. So imagine you can turn up the speed at which this sphere rotates around you. Now, if you're going to do that, you really want to make sure you've got it pointed in the direction that you want it to go. Now, I like to sometimes refer to this as our pod, our energy pod. It's operated by our Merkaba. For those of you that understand Merkaba mechanics, it comes off of the 9, 6, and the 3, the star tetrahedron. As that's operating, we can power up this morphogenic field, which is that immersive reality that we're in, but we can begin to connect to the core element, which is literally the energy, the frequency, and the vibration. And I want to break down the word element. Very simple put. Mente. L is a frequency that across many different places you can find that it relates to the divine. E, the letter E, is representative of the fifth harmonic. There's the 5. We have 5 fingers. 5th dimension is supposed to be the heart dimension, the peace dimension, the love dimension. There's a lot of reasons all of those things come together. So we have 5 senses as well.
And our
5
bodies
physical
too.
senses.
They sometimes refer to our bodies being designed as a 5-pointed star.
Mm-hmm.
Head, 2 arms, 2 legs.
Yeah. So if you look at L as the divine or the source, the E as the 5th, the things that represent all of the experiences of our world. There's 5 platonic solids that make up our periodic table of elements, that make up all of the physical world experiences that we know to exist. Mente is the mind. The mind steers the experience of the divine in 5 parts. So the divine in 5 parts, steered by the mind, makes up all that is, and it makes up your current moment of experience. So back to this spherical, this spherical orb that we're all within, our aura.
A good depiction of that spherical. Do you remember that movie we watched the other day, The Time Machine?
No, I actually don't.
We were sitting in that sphere in the time machine, and then the whole world shifts around him, right?
Yes.
That's quite a good depiction of what we're trying to describe here.
Yeah, he built a machine that kind of turned this thing on.
So he stays in the center, but everything changes around him.
And he moved it forward and back in time, not in location, but you can do all of this. So in that experience, you have this field around you. Now, the limitation to making changes to this core energy in our universe is the ability for the mind to perceive that a change has occurred. If the mind can't perceive a change has occurred, you'll live on as if a change has not occurred. Take anybody that's colorblind, for example. I don't mean to single anyone out if you're colorblind, but I think you'll probably relate to this experience if you are. Maybe you know somebody that's colorblind. I once had a roommate in college who was colorblind, and that was very interesting. He had to do all of these extra steps every time he put on different clothes or matched things together because certain colors he could not distinguish them for each other. Now, if I was to be a prankster, I could have swapped out a couple of his shirts and he would have never known that the reality changed. And he would have worn a shirt with a color that didn't match with the other shirt and his suit would have looked funny. I never did that. But point in case is the reality could change, but he couldn't perceive that that reality was different. So he would perceive as if it was the same and live on as if it was the same until somebody let him know. Much the same way, if we change the energy, but we don't have a way to perceive that the energy has been changed, we will live on in the old paradigm. This is where tuning into our intuition and our energetic abilities can be very helpful. So in this imagination, in this visualization that I want to bring forward, and by the way, the word imagination does not mean something that's made up. It means something that is imaged into organization. We can break down that word in more detail later, but back to the point. If you look at your body as being inside of this field, a spherical orb, and then you can steer that physical orb in a particular direction. What we're going to do in this meditation is we're going to power up the chakras and really tune into the flow of that energy around us. And then we're going to take this to another level. We're going to connect all to each other and make a big spherical orb that we can all be part of. Now, can everyone throw in the chat where you're from, like what country and state or province you're in? I think we've got people in here from kind of all over the world. So in order to really connect us all, we're going to need to do something quite interesting, which is expand our heart chakra to be large enough in its field to connect to every other person here. In doing so, we'll create a mega field that can influence all of our realities together in a collective choice to empower each other, to level each other up with our individual manifestations and our collective manifestations, because we're all choosing for that. So we can experience it because we're choosing to perceive the energy shift, and we're choosing to perceive the energy shift in our lives and then see it show up in tangible ways. We'll be able to do that. Everyone else in the world can have an influence. We can influence them with a gift for them to do the same. Now, they can receive that consciously or unconsciously, with awareness or without awareness, if they are in a position, in a mindset, or in a frame of choice within themselves, somewhere within themselves, to receive it, then they'll receive it in the way that's best for them. If they're not, they won't, because they can't perceive that something has changed. And this is where collective light work comes into play. We can look at the grid of the chakras and we can zoom out to the grid of the earth. Now, you are the grid of the earth. The primary earth grid is made of the human hearts and the hearts of the animals, and then the hearts of the trees and all of these living things. But you're a fundamental piece of the grid because human beings can move about. So we're a grid that's constantly adjusting and vibrating. Whereas, for example, the trees operate a very static grid. And then you have the ancient sacred sites like the pyramids all around the earth or the stone circles. These were physical grids and are physical grids that were designed to outlast all the other grids. So as time fades, human memory after generation, and all of the other grids of life on the planet move and come and go, there would be a grid that would maintain a frequency. Now, a lot of that has been disrupted over the years. Many of us are here to help bring that grid back to life. So as you embody that power within yourself and you begin to steer your individual point of that grid, your little bubble, and you point it in a direction that is a life that you love, it is power and joy and peace in your own experience. And we collectively connect together and do that collectively. And we nudge every other person on this planet in the direction of making a similar choice in their life. You have no idea where someone might be at. They might feel it as a thought. They might feel it as a sudden epiphany. You ever had one of those epiphanies, those downloads that seem to come from somewhere else? And you might have said, well, that was a message from my guides. You ever considered that your guides might be embodied here on Earth as well, leveling up along the way? And we share these downloads with each other? It's quite possible. I would argue that that's exactly how it works, but I'll leave everything out to possibility. Have your own experience here. So send out this broadcast, this energy that invites everyone to take a step in a direction that empowers them to make the choices they need to make to live out their soul's true nature and purpose. Not the purpose that they think they have based on the world's programming, but the real one, the one deep inside that may be long forgotten. And likewise, make this choice for yourself to embody that.
Yeah.
And anything else that you want or desire. Do you have anything to add to that? And then I'd like to do some choices workshops.
Yeah. So what he's talking about is, just think back for a moment. The first time that you noticed 1111, that is the moment we're generating for everyone else as well, for those who are open to see.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really beautiful thing. But let's go into the choices.
We
We're really
definitely
halfway.
can support creating those synchronicities. I was outside getting some fresh air right before we got on this call, and I walked back in, and you guys know that little countdown timer that's on the Zoom call before we start. I walked in the door, and Ayla was coming out of the other office, and she said, "You walked in right as the timer on the Zoom clock said 111." Happens all the time. It's those little alignments, and they can be reassuring because they give us this sense of being in alignment. They can also be used for cross-dimensional communication. Lots of fun stuff that we can do with those that don't have time to discuss tonight. So let's focus into some choices. If there is a portal that could catapult you anywhere, like that treadmill, you could turn up the dial of speed to any level you want. Let's say you turn it up to the perfect level that allows you to, with ease and comfortability, navigate your way right into the life you love. So it's not going so fast it knocks you down and bangs you up, but it's a good pace, an accelerated pace, maybe one that stretches your limits a little bit. That's always good to know that we have greater capacity. What would you choose to accelerate yourself into for yourself personally? Let's forget everyone else and the rest of the world and all the things that we think we need to change or improve or fix or work on. You guys should know about that paradigm by now. Fixing and healing creates the idea of brokenness and creates a loop. So what would you choose to create? Let's take a moment to really focus into that. Write these down in your notebook or put them in the Zoom chat. I'd love to hear what you guys are creating. Let's make it tangible, physical, real, and visceral. How would it affect and impact your relationships, the people around you, the way you interact with them, the way they interact with you? How would it affect every night how you feel when you go to sleep? How would it affect every morning how you feel when you wake up? Would you be more excited for the day or the adventure of life?
Someone said a life of love and healing, community unity,
I love it.
confidence. Kathleen said no more fear.
What would you like to choose instead of fear?
Focus on the.
What would you like to shift fear into?
I help others heal mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, be financially free, and feel free.
What does the healing? The healing implies a brokenness. It implies that something's wrong. I want to point this out. Don't feel singled out, but I talk about this all the time. When we create the idea that we are going to help others heal, we first must manifest a world where they're broken and in need of healing, which means the act of trying to heal other people or wanting to heal other people first contributes to the manifestation of the problem with all of your energy, and then shows up as a savior to the problem. Now imagine somebody that goes and creates a problem for a group of people and then shows up with the antidote and the solution so that they can have the experience of being a savior or a healer. You might call that pretty toxic if you look at it at the big picture. Unfortunately, that's what many of us do when we embrace the idea of wanting to heal or help others heal. Rather, how would you like to help others live? What is a healthy mental, emotional, and physical, spiritual life for those people? Do you want to help other people feel happy, feel joyful, feel grounded, feel balanced, feel abundant, be abundant, live abundant, be kind, be peaceful? So, what do we really want to create? We don't want to create healing. There's something beyond healing that we really want for ourselves and for everyone. That's what we want to become awareness and focus our energy into. Mimi, yes, that is what doctors do. The big problem with doctors and most spiritual healers, they're not all that different. Everyone goes to them to become fixed. And if people go with the idea of they're going to get fixed or healed, then they first have to adopt the idea that they're broken. And when they adopt the idea that someone else, like a doctor or a healer or some guru, is going to fix or heal them, then they've adopted the position of powerlessness. And if you, as the healer or the doctor, step in and say, I'm going to fix or heal you, then you've adopted a position which encourages their powerlessness. And that doesn't work. It doesn't last. And that individual, even if they feel better temporarily, is nothing more than a temporary fix, a temporary band-aid, and they will fall back into powerlessness and back into brokenness. So what they really, really need and desire is not fixing and healing, but rather empowerment into what they choose. What is that? Somebody's joy and happiness and peace and unity. All of those things are beautiful. So what do we really choose to empower? And can we tune ourselves to watch for the implications of our words? Pay attention to the external implications that come when we say we want something or we would like to do something. What's the prerequisite for you to have that experience? Is the prerequisite something you don't actually want? Then that's not actually what you want to do. You want something greater than that. So take those two polarities, like brokenness and healing. What's the unification of those polarities? A whole and perfect person, a whole and perfect self, a whole and perfect world. What existed before we got conned into the idea of being broken and needing to be fixed? Which, by the way, is what religion did as well. Doctors do it with pharmaceuticals and medicines. The Christians and the churches do it with the idea of an external savior. It is the same paradigm.
There's this beautiful video out there. Do you remember the one with the ultrasound? And there's a patient that has cancer, and there are 7 people around that patient. And they have the sonar on the patient's abdomen, it is in the stomach. And everyone there focuses on empowerment and wholeness. And you can see that tumor completely dissolve into nothingness.
In less than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
The chant, they were chanting, I forget the words they were chanting, but the words they all agreed. There was a frequency they had all agreed essentially meant something to the effect of already whole, already healed, already done.
Yeah.
In other words, there's no healing needed. There's no work left. There's nothing left to fix. It's already done. Now, if we want to create a new earth, a new world, we have to adopt that perspective for ourselves. We have to embody that perspective for ourselves. We have to start embodying that perspective with the people that get under our skin and we're like, oh my gosh, they'll never wake up because they're so annoying and they're so asleep. You have to be able to look at them as someone that's capable of becoming free. I call this setting people free in your own mind. Open the door. There's a prison cell that they're in. And if they're in a prison, don't contribute to it by thinking that they're in a prison. Set them free in your mind. See them as whole and perfect, empowered creators that might at the moment be choosing to put their creative power into creating a prison for themselves, but don't contribute to that by looking at them as if they're in a prison. Recognize that they're fundamentally free. They're fundamentally whole. They can choose to walk out that door at any moment. And if you choose to set down your little bit of energy that you see them in, because we all connect through our perceptions. The only reality you experience is the one that fits within and through your perceptions of yourself and of the world around you. The only relationship with others you can experience is the version of them that fits within your perceptions of them. And the only version of you they can experience is the version of you that fits within their perceptions of you. You can't control their perceptions, but you can change your perceptions of them and set them free from your bit of energy that contributes to their prison. You can take that energy off of your own self and set yourself free. Now zoom out. There's 8.5 billion people on this planet, and we live in the 21st century. Humanity has more access to information and knowledge than ever before in our recent recorded history. There's nothing that can stop this. Open the door in your mind and see every single person is capable of waking up today. Today. Not tomorrow, not 10 years, not if enough people do this or enough people do that, or we do enough collective meditations or this, that, and the other. Today. See all 8.5 billion people as capable of waking up today. And in fact, zoom back. They're already awake. It's already done. They're already healed. They're already whole. They might be using their state of being of wholeness to play the game of brokenness. They might be using their connection to themselves and the divine to create and power an experience of disconnection, but they've never been disconnected from that energy or they wouldn't be having an experience at all. So that connection's always there. The wholeness is always there. It's fundamental. We can use that connection to create the experience of disconnection, but you can't ever be disconnected. So today we're all using our connection to create the experience of being connected, of being whole, and looking at others, everyone else here, because we're all collectively choosing this, and everyone else on the planet, encouraging them to do the same with a little reminder that it's possible by stepping into that energy for an extended period of time with an extended period of focus while giving our mind a visualization so the mind can do what the mind does, which is do things. The mind does things. That's what it does. So when we get into a meditation like this, we are doing an active meditation. And the active part is giving the mind something to do while we can enter the vibration of wholeness in stillness. While the mind goes and does a busy bee meditation, moving energy about. What energy is it moving? Whole and perfect energy. Where is it moving it? In different arrangements of your whole and perfect self, in your whole and perfect energy field. What does it feel like? It feels like energy moving in whole and perfect ways inside your chakras, inside your mind, inside your visualizations, inside your third eye, throughout your body, throughout your auric field. What can we do with it? We can connect it together, and then we can feel each other through our heart portals and all of our chakras. Each chakra is also a portal, by the way. And then we can expand this out to the whole world. I think you guys get the idea. I love these choices that are going into the chat. I love these perspectives that you guys are adopting. And so let's get into a meditation. We'll probably go for about 30 minutes. So we'll run about 15 minutes over time. And immerse, feel, allow yourself to notice what you notice. There is no goal or end point. Have the experience. Feel whole. Immerse yourself in that 0 point energy. And maybe bring to visualization that treadmill type sphere around you and point it into the world and the life and the version of yourself and the version of reality that you choose to be in. And let's go through a collective quantum shift.
And use your energy during this meditation. Move around. Use your flow codes, your light language, and really, really utilize your energy fully.
Absolutely.
Amazing. We'll see you guys on the other side. Make yourselves comfortable.
Yeah, find a comfortable spot. We'll start off with some deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out.
Headphones, yes. Go ahead and get your headphones ready.
Focus intentionally into the breath. Bring your awareness into your heart, that 0 point space we talked about. As you breathe in, see that space in your heart begin to expand. And as you breathe out, feel that space in your heart expand. As you breathe in, connect it more within yourself. And as you breathe out, connect it more into the world around you. Bring the polarities inwards. All of the things that we have our biases and prejudices about, bring them inwards. The good, the bad, the right, the wrong. Take another breath. Allow yourself to feel a flood of energy pouring into the neutral space of your heart and expanding outwards. Maybe bringing in a visualization of the portal of your heart expanding as a swirling sphere of green, brilliant light. And as it expands outwards, begins to connect with the chakra above and below, with the solar plexus below and with the throat chakra above, and each one of those chakras lights up as a little sphere and begins to expand as well. Breathe in and breathe out. And as it expands further, connect into the solar plexus. And you might remember we did an exercise with a pyramid in the solar plexus chakra. If you recall, visualize a spinning pyramid that points downwards in your solar plexus chakra. And at the same time, visualize a swirling pyramid that points upwards in your throat chakra. And breathe in and out. As you do, expand the size of those pyramids as they spin around and around. Maybe intuitively you notice one goes one direction and the other goes the other direction. Continue to expand the space of your heart outwards with each breath. Notice that now it begins to connect to your third eye and your sacral chakra. And as it does, these chakras begin to expand as orbs of energy as well. Take another breath in and a breath out. And notice the pyramid in the throat chakra and the pyramid in the solar plexus spinning faster and faster, beginning to get larger and larger, all within an ever-growing sphere of light of your heart. As you expand your heart outwards farther, it connects to your crown chakra up above and your root chakra down below. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring to your awareness all of your choices. You might consider them a map, a navigational beacon, and a destination. Breathe in And breathe out, expanding your heart space a little further, noticing the pyramid in your solar plexus, the pyramid in your throat chakra spinning faster and growing larger. And the field of your heart connects to your Earth Star chakra, just outside of your body, below, and your Soul Star chakra, up above your head. Breathe in and breathe out. As you expand it a little further, all polarities, invite everything into a choice to experience neutrality, to experience your 0 point. Notice what you notice, feel what you feel. Begin to expand that space of your heart a little larger than your whole body. Noticing the pyramid in your solar plexus spinning faster and growing larger, and the pyramid in your throat chakra going faster and a little larger. And now I'd like you to choose to flip over those pyramids so that their tops connect together in the heart. And as they do, you might notice a buzzing, swirling sensation. As the energy begins to flow from your solar plexus power to your authentic expression of your soul, connected in the perfect way in your heart. Allow the frequencies to guide this. And as you expand these pyramids, notice that they intersect with one another. They begin to take on the form of a structure within this sphere of your heart, a structure that many of you know as the Merkaba. Breathe in, breathe out, and allow yourself to expand each of your chakras, each sphere of light, till they are all the same size. They are all encapsulating your entire body. And you're within this double-pointed pyramid, one up and one down. You're within a sphere, and it surrounds you. Allow yourself to feel what you feel and bring all of your choices into this swirling vortex of light that grows brighter and brighter. Notice its colors, its vibrance. Atuku ana ashantoa. Uko antu so usea antia. Ashea sea dea. Henea asea atuku usea. Anoha kua shahantekia. Hatek
Take a deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out.
As you breathe, notice what you notice, feel what you feel, see what you see within yourself.
And let's activate this fully now. Expand this beautiful Merkabic field, the sphere of light around you fully now. We're going to bring our awareness fully into our breath now to activate this for ourselves, because that is life. That is the representation here of what we are, the breath of life. So bring into your awareness fully now the inward and the outward. Inward, outward. Very good. Now just speed it up slightly and just become aware of that little holding space in between each breath. Just step into that 0 point of the breath of life as well. Breathe in and out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Speed it up a little bit now. In and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. Slightly faster. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Feel the gentleness of your breath as you focus on breathing in and out. Let's speed it up a little more now. In, out, in, out. Let's power breath into that beautiful Merkovic field. In and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Keep going, keep flowing. You've got this. It might feel a little uncomfortable. That's okay. Just keep going.
As you keep breathing in and out, faster and faster. Notice the swirling vortex of energy around you. The pyramids of energy spin faster and faster, aligning more and more with the choices of the energy you've chosen to embody.
And you might notice it's becoming a little uncomfortable. Just push yourself a little more, just a little more. You've got this. Step into it. Step into that portal within you. Keep going, keep flowing. And now just take a deep breath in. Hold it. And relax. And you might notice some tingling in the body, slight swirling. That's okay. You're allowing yourself to create that shift, that frequency attunement of focusing your energy towards what you choose to create. And you can even visualize yourself shifting that dial now. And as you do, you might notice there's a slight little swirl shift that occurs for you. And just know and be proud of yourself for allowing this for yourself. Take another deep breath in. Hold it. And just relax into it. Notice what you feel here. Generate that feeling. Generate that relaxation of who you are, who you choose to be. And as you do, you notice that sphere around you expand even more and more.
Feeling what you feel, notice what you notice, see what you see. Bring to your awareness a choice to connect this field of all your energy to the exact reality where all of your choices are true. Take a breath and visualize your field of energy sending out beams of light in the direction of that reality, the world around you. Reaching and touching and connecting with one of the infinite of possible realities that you could live in, aligning your timeline. You might visualize a button within this swirling field of light that you can press to start the process. Choose and communicate to your source self to begin the process of shifting and integrating the entire universe around you, so that you are in the exact position and relationship to all that is, where all of your choices for the life that you love are true. Feel what you feel and notice what you notice. You might notice the energy around your sphere of light shifting, moving. You might see images or thoughts, feelings. Allow it all to come and be into your heart. Breathe in and breathe out. Now bring to your awareness the fact that you're here collectively, joined in this process with many others from all around our planet. Bring to your awareness their fields of light. You might visualize our world and see little spheres of light all over the map. And now expand your sphere of light beyond the space of your body and your home or wherever you're sitting now. Expand it out into the countryside or the town that you're in. Notice it connecting through the forest and the trees, merging with the other people of the world around us, expanding larger and larger. As you see it expand farther and farther, feel it begin to connect with others who are here on this Zoom call, doing the same. Notice how we're all meeting somewhere in the middle. Expand your hearts, all of your chakras farther and farther, with the choice for your most perfect world inside. Connecting with everyone else and their choice for their most perfect world. As you breathe in and you breathe out gently, you notice that gently your energy merges with many other beings, many who are here on this Zoom call, and many who are not, and yet who are also choosing a similar vibration, a similar path. And as our energy collectively connects together, notice a grid is formed intentionally from each of your chakras. Visualize a line of light going out, beaming out to every other person here on this call and every other person on this planet who is making a similar choice, or who desires to make a similar choice, or who would like to know that it's possible to make a similar choice. Take a breath in, and like flashing on a flashlight, see that beam of light go out from each of your chakras and reach each of their chakras. And feel that pulse of light come back from everyone else here who is doing this as well. It comes back to you as support. And you send it out as support with a gentle reminder of the choice that we could make, the choice that we can make, and the choice that we have made to be whole, to remember, to feel, and to know the truth of who and what we are, and to embody that energy. Breathe in, breathe out, and notice that a grid has formed all around the earth. First with dozens, then with hundreds, and with many, many thousands, and even millions. Little orbs of light and large orbs of light all around the world ignite, inspired by the energy of this moment, of your choice, of your vibration, your love. The divinity within you, steered by your mind. Breathe in and breathe out, and relax into this grid of energy. Notice that it holds your energy in vibration. As you relax, the giving and receiving of light and the power of choice holds us all in a steady vibration of harmony and of peace and empowerment. Take a deep breath in and notice one of these lines of energy that goes out from your chakras to some being somewhere. Allow your mind to travel down one of those strands of light and notice what you notice. When you reach the other side, what message comes to mind that you would share with that being on the other side? A message of support, a message of remembrance. Take a moment now and allow your mind to travel throughout the grid of our energy, connecting with many souls, one to the next. Notice what you notice. See what you see. Connect to all with perfect love and perfect trust. And be a messenger of empowerment, of peace, of love, and of choice.
Eshue satayanennuinte, ekuamana hanunente, yelueste shusaino mineki enomana, yepe sukuano tenue.
Okuantu usoata antik ukuanak anteseatoa.
Entue satano ke anante, yenue satana.
Tiki iset ukonate.
Esoshe sathiata hasoana. Miona hentuena. Yete esayatu.
Etu ukona atese tukoeshe. Hentea casa atu ukone tisiate. Notice the power in your connections. And now take a deep breath, all of us collectively together, and hold that breath at the top. And as we collectively exhale in a moment, pulse a flash of light out all of these connections. 1, 2, 3, exhale. And as you exhale, relax. Take another deep breath in. Let's do that again. All the way in, hold at the top. And unleash a flash of light to all beings everywhere with a big exhale now. Allow yourself to relax into the power of unity, of connection. Like resting in a giant net made of human love and divine essence. Let's take another deep breath in, all collectively together, and do that one more time. Breathe in, inwards, inwards, inwards a little more, and hold at the top. And then let it all out with a flash of light. Ah. Relax into the power of your choice and of a collective choice. Breathe in, breathe out. Allow yourself to find a rhythm of your breath. Notice the expansiveness of your heart field, how it envelopes the entire earth and all 8.5 billion people. And you're not alone as you hold that space in perfect love and in perfect trust for yourself and for all that you are connected with. Take another deep breath in and gently bring your awareness back to your body and your chakra system. And turn those beams of light that we sent outwards, inwards to yourself. Gently notice a shift in your energy as we all do the same. Breathe in and breathe out. Take a deep breath. Hold it at the top and let out a big exhale with a pulse of that energy into yourself. Ah. Feel your entire inner light grow, expanding your capacity to hold the vision of the life that you love. And relax into the power of your choice. Breathe in again, all collectively. Deep breath. Bring your choices to your mind. What do you choose to create? Hold at the top, and then exhale with a flash of light, pouring it inwards to yourself and expanding your capacity to hold your choice. And as you exhale, relax into the illumination of yourself. Notice what you notice. See what you see. And feel what you feel. Breathe in deeply. Hold at the top. And exhale, pouring a flash of light once again into yourself. Ah. And relax into the energy of all that you are. And expand the space of your heart and all of your chakras a little further beyond the earth. Expanding it out into the cosmos as far as you can. And then let it go. Let it expand into all that is. As you take another breath, letting yourself become the universe. Notice what you notice, feel what you feel, and let it all be. If any thought arises, lay it to rest. If any image comes, allow it to find the stillness. Take another deep breath in and bring your awareness to a single word that sums up all of your choices together. Is it love? Is it peace? What is it to you? Exhale out gently. And on your next breath, visualize the entire universe rotating around you through your heart and bringing you to the place where your choices are true. Breathe in deep. Feel the stars move. Feel the vibrations shift. Feel your body adjust. And exhale, relaxing into a new timeline. A cycle, a presence of where you choose to be.
Let the frequencies guide you. Feel all the emotion, vibration, frequency, energy of you. And just be here for a moment without our voices. Yeshua Satyano Ite Sayana Itho Esani Yelo Eso Amaninte Into Esanto Ine
Aqua Shantek Utonatia Tuasan
Shiano Esanto Ine
Tukoyaksha Tuanea
Meno Esano Enaninte
Uto Okona Antu Ashak Uto Seete
Unuente Duemana Yalo Esaninaninte Akasha Yesa
Endoa Atewa Akantu Usoate
Eso
Itushuana
Toente Ogamaneno Esante Yelto Eshanto Amaninde Mahondo Eskatayane
Eto Ukuana Atushua Oa Kasa Atea Tuku Ete Sea. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember the breath. Remember that swirling sphere of light. And notice yourself here in the body. Bring your awareness, bring that sphere of energy. Take a deep breath and draw it all in, all the way in, till it's right here around your body, close to you, and yet still expanded. Bringing all your energy into the room you're in or the space you're in. Notice how it connects to the room around you, the ground beneath you. Connecting to a space that is similar, the same, yet different in vibration. Allow yourself to breathe, reflecting on what you've noticed within yourself, what you felt within our world, in yourself, in each other, between each other, between all things, because you are all things. Breathe in and out. And allow yourself to gently come back into the present physical experience. Maybe gently moving your toes, your fingers if you've been still. Maybe gently moving your head from side to side. And gently come back to the Zoom call when you're ready.
The promised land is in the palm of our hands, not confined by the lines drawn in the sand, buried in flesh, hidden in bone. The kingdom of heaven is embedded in the soul. In order to return and become whole, we must be humble, surrender ego, let go of the future and the past. With the light that shines right through the mask, illuminate the path, draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, gotta draw the mind back. Illuminate the path, draw the mind back. It's hidden in this moment, very right where you Heaven is here. When the mind is clear. When the mind is clear. Heaven is here. When the mind is clear. When the mind is clear. Peace and love. I dissolve my fears. I dissolve my fears.
Welcome back, everyone.
Snap. Sit that together. How's everyone feeling?
Good to see you all still here. Alex says he felt the bursts of lights when they breathed out. Yeah, I love it. Felt like flying. Like a new person. Beautiful connection to others. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. So before we jump off, remember to take this energy through the entire week forward and bring it next week again as we then start to step into, really, really knowing that we are the creators of our reality.
Yeah.
And we're going to be focusing on all the chakras next week. Might be a little longer meditation. So set aside about a couple hours for next week.
Yeah, probably be 2 hours next week. I think we're going to try to get into the meditation sooner than later.
Yeah.
So we can spend a good hour at least in meditation. It's cool if I share a story. Everybody cool if I share a story? I want to share a story about the very first time I ever did something like this. Everybody cool with that? It's a short story. So years ago, I was going through the lonely part of the awakening where there's really no one else. And I probably knew all of 2 people that might have been on this kind of wavelength at all. And from the perspective that I had at the time, there wasn't really anyone else that was awake except for a few, light workers I spotted on social media occasionally, but they were all way over there. Like, felt like there was all of maybe 10 of us awake on the planet. Now I know that wasn't the case, but the dimension I was living in, that's how it was. I could not have contact with anyone else who was really awake because I was early in my awakening journey. And that's how it is. We have a vibrational resonance. We are surrounded by people who are a vibrational match. So that can tell you a lot about where you're at as well, which can be sometimes a hard pill to swallow. I didn't really know that at the time, but I really adopted the perspective that there must only be a few of us who are awake, so we better get busy, get on the mission and start doing some things. And although that served to be great motivation to begin doing some things, there was a moment where myself and a couple others decided that we were going to do a collective meditation. And we'd been doing some meditation groups. We'd started our own, just a couple of us in person, and kind of meeting together in this space. I don't know, no one in my hometown area like believes in this kind of stuff. So it's kind of like, you don't talk about it. You kind of undercover light worker, you know? And so we'd get together and we do these, chakra meditations. And we do this expansive energy work with ourselves. And it was great. It helped with a lot of things in life. And we're learning things about ourselves and consciousness. And I said, I really want to be able to do this in like a group and like send light off all around the world. Like that's got to be something that we could do. But like, how do we do something like that? We don't know anybody. I don't know how to get in touch with anybody. I don't know how to connect with anyone who would be on this. And there's nobody around my area that would be into this kind of thing. So what do we do? So we did a meditation. We did this outdoors, and we did this meditation. We connected with a tree. It's a big oak tree. Connected with that tree. And we did a meditation or a visualization of shooting this beam of light, like if you can imagine that you were stranded on an island and you needed to hopefully somebody sees you, and you shot off a flare because hopefully somebody sees the flare. It was like that. We did this meditation, connected our chakras, and we shot this beam of light all up into the the heavens, so to speak, and out around the earth, with the intention to be a beacon for all the light workers or all the awakening beings to connect with. And let's get started on this mission. Let's do something. Let's build the new world. And I had no idea what would happen at that time. I had no intention of doing what I do now. I had no intention or knowledge that I would be doing what I do now. And yet, if I tune into the area of this world and I look at the energy, there's a little spot in Missouri with a big oak tree that still has this like brilliant light in my mind's eye. And ever since that day, slowly but surely, I meet one more person almost every single day who's on this wavelength. And what was really interesting was the date that we did that on. I think this is about 7 years ago now. The amount of people that said, I woke up that month, something hit me like a pile of bricks, and I woke up and went looking for soul family. And many of those people are closely connected in my world now, close friends on this wavelength. We are not alone in this, but we sometimes live closed off in our energy and our actions and the way that we show up. And after that, there came a change in the way I showed up. One of those was I became okay with talking about what I believe and my intentions and what I think that we can do and what I could see with my gifts. I became okay with talking about it. And I became okay with having that conversation with people I didn't know. And I became okay with having that conversation with people I did know who will think I'm crazy for it. Family and friends. And some of those people are no longer part of my life. And some of those people accepted it. And other people like, you went to the dark side, bro. Whatever. But you're all here as a result. So maybe you heard that beacon that day. That would have been 7 years ago, October. So, well, 1 month shy of 7 years ago. That's when it was. Maybe you heard it that day. Maybe you felt it that day. Maybe you felt it later. Maybe you felt one of the other waves that was created because we started doing these portals. And I started doing them online. I said, well, we did it with 3 people. I did it by myself. I did it with 3 people. We can do this with more people. Let's do it online. So I did it on a TikTok live stream. And then I said, let's make this really interactive and get people to actually stay for the whole thing. Because people on TikTok live streams, they scroll in and scroll out. I'm like, okay, we got to like really create concentrated energy for a duration of time. And It's a powerful thing if you study magic. It boils down to one thing: intention, energy, frequency, and vibration, yes. But then what you do with that energy, frequency, and vibration boils down to intention and focused and the duration of the focus. So I found that people are usually good for a 30-minute meditation, hour-long meditation. 2 hour Zoom call is usually starting to push it. People start to have to go up and use the restroom. But that's a good amount of time that we can really focus together and create some powerful things. And then I said, okay, well, now we got to, we can do this online. That's cool. But I really want to get people together in person. So we did one of these portals in Sedona, Arizona. We've done it there a couple of times. We did one of these portals at the Stone Circles in South Africa. We did one of these portals at the pyramids in Egypt and do that there regularly. Some of you on this screen are going to be there next month, 23rd or 15th to the 23rd of September. If you guys want to be there for Egypt, send me a message or let me know, and we'll get on a call and talk about the logistics and make it happen. There is power when we get together. And the first time I did this was with a lovely little oak tree, big oak tree. It's like I can hear that oak tree being like, what are you doing calling me little? Anyways, first time I did that, the beacon, the anchor was a tree. The pyramids have been around as an anchor for that purpose for as long as it's been since they were built. Yes, they're a clock. Yes, they're a lot of different things. They're an interdimensional machine. But one of the things that they most definitely are is an anchor to mark the resonance of a frequency. No matter how much this world changes, it's still there. But it needs to be turned on. And that means it needs life force energy to power it up. That tree was there doing what trees do. We combined our life force energy with the tree and set off a beacon that set off a chain reaction of events in my life. And I'm going to take it in your lives as well, because we're here having this conversation together. And that was the domino that tipped the scales for me to step into my mission and be here with you tonight. So let's tip some more dominoes, I guess is what I'm saying. Let's tip some more dominoes. What's the next one to fall? Who's the next person that's going to awaken, recognize that they're part of this? What are they doing right now? What power do they hold? Who are they? It's easy to look out there at the world and see all these things going on and make judgments about, oh, this person's bad and that person's good. And I'm not going to name names, but if you look at the, political, socioeconomic scope of the world, it's easy to start to make judgments. But we don't know how many of those people are our brothers and sisters in spirit, undercover, waiting for the moment for us to have enough space in our hearts for them to wake up. So zoom out, see everyone as whole, everyone is perfect, and amplify that energy, amplify that frequency of acceptance. We're shifting from that paradigm of judgment into the paradigm of perfect love and perfect trust. And then can we get together at a place like the pyramids and step into full embodiment of that for ourselves and the other people that are with us? Forget the rest of the world exists for a moment. We play with energy, frequency, and vibration inside of an interdimensional harmonic instrument and machine that has the power to do things that I didn't know was possible, and witness the marvels of ancient quantum physics and the knowledge that's been lost on our planet, and witness it firsthand and allow that energy to go out and hit the rest of the world, and do it at the same time as other people gather on a Zoom call and do what we just did tonight. Well, there's a bunch of people inside the pyramid. That's what we're going to be doing on, what night is it, the pyramids? The 15th?
16th.
16th. The night of the 16th, Egypt time. We will be, is it early morning on the 16th?
12 a.m. I think.
12 a.m. on the
Local time?
16th, local
Yeah.
time Egypt, whatever time that is around the world. There's going to be an event posted in the table platform. You'll RSVP to it just like you did this one. If you can't attend in person, come and attend online. We're going to do kind of the same thing we did just now, but it'll be with a focal point of bouncing that energy through the pyramids for amplification while there's a group inside the pyramids.
And if you want to come, just reach out on
Yep.
the app or send us a message or an email.
You guys know how to reach us. Like you can reply to a text message, reply to an email, or send a message somewhere. Just say the word Egypt or say, hey, I want to come to Egypt. If you do want to come, there are obvious costs involved for an international trip. So be prepared to handle that. You want to be able to, for a comfortable trip, you want to be able to spend anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000, give or take, depending on how many souvenirs you want to buy. And Egypt has its souvenirs. Anybody? I see Hanya laughing. She knows.
Yeah, as you can see there behind me.
Yeah, it's hard to come back without an extra suitcase. So
Yeah.
I don't fly with an extra suitcase to limit my souvenir purchasing. Anyways, point in case, the work that we do in ourselves is important. The work that we do outside of ourselves is important. And if you've been feeling a call to Egypt, now's probably a good time to make a step and do something crazy and fly around the world and go do it. The first time I did it, I had 2 weeks notice and the universe said go. And I said, how? And then the universe kicked me in the butt and I went. Anyways, have fun, guys. We'll see you back next week.
Amazing. Have
Keep
a beautiful
navigating your
week,
portal.
and thank you so much. Thank you for bringing your energy.
Tune into that sphere of light every day. Zip up your chakra system, pop it open, use the pyramids in the throat chakra and the solar plexus. That is a beautiful way to activate your Merkaba and take it from separation energy, one pointing up and down, folding it inwards to bring everything into the 0 point. And fold your life into the new reality that you're choosing.
Amazing.
We'll see you guys on the flip side.